Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
FRAT Podcast, episode 2.
episode 2. It's been in the making. I'm glad we're here.
Yeah, I'm glad we made it to a second one, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. The pilot episode.
Enough, right?
What'd you think of that first episode?
Dude, I loved it, bro. It's a good time, man. Yeah.
What was the feedback like?
Oh, good feedback, bro. Like, all the homies loved it. Yeah, family checked it out, too. They liked it, too. So.
Yeah, how many views is it at so far?
It's over 100 now, so, like,
is it?
Definitely, like, to get that was within a week too.
That's within
being out there, so to get that within
crazy.
A week,
yeah, a lot of people hit me up, like really just telling me how much they enjoyed and stuff. And not to like obviously boast about it, but I'm personally really happy with the way it went. I mean, we just want to be out here talking about stuff that should be talked about and what we find interesting.
Yeah, dude, I was super like psyched with how it came out. Like definitely like for that being our first one, it felt like it went pretty well.
Yeah, and I mean obviously we've been talking about starting stuff for a while now, and I'm just glad that this is step one. Obviously there's a lot more in the making. We'll touch on that more stuff with like Jonah and what he's got going on and what the future looks like for FRAT and certain projects we're gonna be uploading, so stay tuned for that. But lots been going on, man. It's been a interesting 2022 so far.
Yeah, because like it's kind of been in the making for a while. Like I mean, we've been talking about doing something together for a while now, like since like freshman year of college and stuff like that. But like now it's kind of like the ball's starting to get rolling and stuff like that. So it's fun, dude. It's
exactly.
fun.
And evenly we'll work on mango juice.
Yeah, dude.
Imagine.
Eventually, that is
mango
big teaser
juice
right there. That's been a long time.
Let's just say it'll be a featured film. That's
long time in the making. long time in the idea process and making. Like we've talked on that for a long time.
How would you explain it? Let's say mango juice is our super bad. That super bad to Seth Rogen. That's what mango juice will be to us.
Yeah,
so
it'll be a fun movie, bro. I'm
eventually, right?
It's in the works,
but as of right now that we're on the topic of films and movies, obviously the Batman just dropped. Shout out to Robert Pattinson and the crew over there. What'd you think? I didn't watch it. I didn't have the time, but I am gonna go. What'd you think?
So I don't want to get into it too much because I don't.
No spoilers.
Don't want to do spoilers.
Yeah, please.
Because it just came out, and I want to wait till it gets that Spider-Man hype where all the spoilers are out already, and then we can talk spoilers then. But overall, I thought it was a fun take on Batman, and I have some thoughts about like Robert Pattinson's performance in particular.
So what I remember reading when it first got announced, seeing the cast and whatnot, a lot of people were very skeptical about his rendition of what Batman should be. Personally, I don't hate him.
No, I don't hate him either. He's actually in one of my favorite movies, Good Time.
Oh,
he does a killer job in that. So I kind of thought he had acting chops, like
for sure. Yeah.
And he was in. I don't know if you saw Lighthouse, but kind of
shout out
very
to
different one, and like he does a good job in that too. But
that's who dropped that? What company was that?
That was A24.
A24. Shout out A24.
Well, marketed by A24 and stuff. So that was. So between those two movies, I was like, I thought he had some pretty decent acting chops, and I really didn't even think twice about it. Like I was like, I thought he would do a decent job. Like,
would you like Twilight?
I've never seen Twilight.
You've never seen Twilight? Okay.
Oh man,
it's one of those things where like you watch because it's Twilight. But I'm not the lore and the fan base behind Twilight, Team Jacob, Team Edward. Remember that back in the day, how it was shit back in the day? Middle schoolers like, oh my God, I'm Team Edward, I'm Team Jacob. I was like, bruh.
It's kind of crazy I've never seen them because my mom loves them.
Your mom loves them?
Mackenzie's been giving me shit for not seeing them since
Maybe you should sit down with her and watch them.
Maybe,
they're not my favorite, but going back to
Batman,
the boy,
Batman,
So what'd you think of his performance? Like I said, let's not get too deep into
don't want to get too deep into it, but overall, to put it pretty briefly, I was pretty disappointed
with the movie, his performance. Okay,
with his performance. Why? Just one-dimensional, bro. It was really one-dimensional to me. It was okay. I feel like when you have and I don't want to go off too much, but like when you go talk about the Dark Knight, Christian, you had Bruce Wayne and you had Batman. They were kind of separate characters.
They're different entities.
Very much differentiate the two. With Robert Pattinson in this one, felt like he was just giving like the same performance for each, and it just like, I honestly liked almost every other character better than
the supporting cast.
Yeah,
right.
I did.
So obviously it's important. I'm glad you mentioned the difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman and how there's two separate entities, because it is important, because it's a huge part of the film, and it's a huge part of what makes the superhero
Definitely,
Batman.
like the two lives,
the
like,
two different, you know, the huge lore behind Batman, the history, his family, and whatnot. So like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but if you say it's disappointed and it's just so one-dimensional, I mean,
it was. And
do you think that's his fault, or would you say it's more of the writing?
Dude, he must have had like, I would say not even, this is probably stretching it, but like he barely had any lines, bro. He barely had any lines, like, at all.
Really?
Yeah, like it was super dry. I'll say like I thought, because this is aside from Robert Pattinson, but someone I thought did really well in it was Zoe Kravitz. She played Catwoman.
Yep.
And usually, like, I'm not super into Catwoman. I don't really like her character usually, but like I actually thought she did a really good job.
You know, from some of the reviews I've seen so far, I heard that the dynamic between Catwoman and Batman was good.
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree. Like, it was good chemistry between both characters. But like I said, going back to whether it was the writing or the actor itself,
I would say it was. I would put it more on the writing. I would also say, though, I heard that he would like. It was supposed to be like a very depressing, like
more dark and
more
grim.
Depressed Batman, like very in the
kind of like the Joker.
Kind of, yeah, like kind of like that, where he's just like really kind of like down bad, straight up, honestly. Yeah. So, and I was excited for that, because I was like, that sounds pretty interesting, but I don't know, it just felt one dimensional, because that was his Batman thing, and then that was him as Bruce Wayne too. So it was that's.
How long was the film?
Dude, it was 3 hours.
So it's stretched. Was it a good 3 hours, or was it like it was a chore to get through?
I would say it was entertaining enough, definitely. Like, I didn't feel like it was like dragging on super much, but I never was like extremely entertained either. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like ever like. There was actually a couple scenes. I would say the most entertaining scenes actually were like when you had the what was his name? Penguin.
Penguin.
Penguin did a good job, but he wasn't
in
it that much, to be honest. Again, I don't want to talk about spoilers.
I
don't want to get into it too much, but yeah.
So it had good beats.
It had good beats.
There's good beats throughout the film, because one that was such a chore to get through was Batman Superman.
Oh yeah.
God, I hate it. Like, dude, it was just such a drag. It got boring. It seemed like there's too much setup. That's why I wanted to ask if this was kind of similar.
No, I would definitely say I enjoyed this a lot more, and it really was just like little things that like were off to me, and like the whole villain motive like was kind of like, I thought he was decent as a villain, but like I thought they could have done something cooler with the Riddler, to be honest.
Okay.
I was more excited. I was really hyping up the Riddler being in it.
Yeah.
And he was good, but it felt very much like, it felt a lot like The Dark Knight a little bit. Like they were kind of like ripping off the way the Joker was going about it in The Dark Knight, not ripping off, but like kind of like that, I guess. It felt very similar to me.
So who directed this?
Dude, that's a good question. I don't know, to be honest.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, based on what you saw, do you think there will be future installments within this universe at least?
Dude, I guess so, maybe, because at the end, again.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say, let's be careful
I could get
there.
into it. I could kind of get into it, but yeah, I think there will be more
future installments.
I think there will be more.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna be like a standalone movie like Joker was, and kind of getting into Joker, because that was just phenomenal.
Yeah, I love that.
Like just the story arc itself and what it encapsulates from beginning to end. It seems like a complete story, but it also seems like they can definitely approach a second installment. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, leave it alone," like it's a masterpiece, and sometimes these sequels kind of ruin what the original sets out to be. So. Hopefully we'll see. I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, I think it will have more installments.
Yeah.
The thing is, I kind of thought that Joker and this one were kind of going to be like tied into the same universe.
Was it not?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I think they're separate entities.
I think so.
I think they're separate stories. Which, I mean, I really want to see the Joker, like most recent Joker, continue, dude. Just because
I do too, because he did a good job, dude.
Yeah, right. Who played Joker?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. Shout out Joaquin Phoenix, dude. Phenomenal. And you see like the stuff he had to go through to prepare for the role.
Dude,
it's insane, dude.
Insane in that movie.
He like sacrificed his body, sacrificed like his own mental capacity, and like just put himself through some rough stuff. But it made for such an amazing, project, and it was just insane.
I really enjoyed that Joker. That was the best DC movie I feel like I've seen in a while.
And dude, it was so dark. I remember there were actual warnings before watching the film, like saying if you've dealt with certain issues, be aware, because it could trigger some deep emotions. Like that's how.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's how bad. Like, well, not bad, but that's how like sensitive some stuff can be.
Like that.
Very psychological,
very
and you can,
psychological,
and throughout the film, you really see the transformation of this character, and like I said, it could bring up, and trigger old emotions if you were to kind of experience similar things.
Like
so
kind of PTSD kind of.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly the way people explained it. So it was it was insane.
When a movie
and even I was unsettled. During a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I was very unsettled throughout the film. I was like, damn, bro, this is.
I remember
nuts.
I was really unsettled when like I don't want to spoil it, but the reveal kind of happens that like everything he's kind of been thinking is not as he thought it was really. So I remember that like hit my stomach. I was like, okay, this guy, he's pretty like messed up.
Very messed up.
So,
wow. But I mean, Batman, what a.
Would recommend.
Would you?
Yeah, especially if you're a Batman fan. It's it's definitely, they built Gotham really well.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
I was gonna say, what's the world like?
Very dark.
Yeah,
super dark. It's like it's in the gutters, bro.
And they did a good job to build that, though. You really
you really feel that. And like the universe itself, I thought they did a good job building it. To be honest, maybe like the writing itself wasn't like my favorite, and then like and I don't want to put all the responsibility on Robert Pattinson's performance for not liking the Batman. That could have been having to do with the writing too. But I did like it though.
That's good.
I think I had high expectations maybe, and like was a little disappointed.
No, for sure.
But I did like it though.
No, that's a good point. But I mean, not to put too much stress on the writers, and I'm going to bring it up not to get too much back into Spider-Man, because we did dive into that last episode, but a lot of people do blame the poor performance from Andrew Garfield and his Spider-Mans to the writers, because now you saw the difference with him being in the new writers' hands with No Way Home and stuff, and he did a phenomenal job. So, writers, sometimes it's very tough. You can't really put the blame all on the actor or on the writer. It's kind of like a collective thing. And so.
And a lot of times it's the writer.
And it's like, I wish someone else wrote this, because they could have fully fledged and used their potential and whatnot. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, making films is hard, bro.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Making films is hard.
It's not easy.
But
writing's probably, that's where it starts, right? Like,
that's exactly where it starts. And then you have your pre-production, and you have to gain your traction through your team and kind of try to.
But if you don't have a good script in the first place, it's screwed from the beginning pretty much.
It's tough. But I mean, I think this is a perfect time to mention, actually, with everything going on and kind of the new wave for information and the internet and stuff, like we have some people who are trying to actually come up with films in different ways, and if you want to get into that.
So this is actually an article I found it on Short of the Week, which was actually a website that was recommended to us by a professor at our school. So I check it like all the time.
Do you actually?
Yeah, I check it pretty often just for articles, because I feel like it has pretty interesting ones, like new things in film and whatnot. So I was checking it out, and the first one that they had on there was something that just like was really interesting to me, and it basically, for the most part, had to do with like these two filmmakers that are trying to fund their film through NFTs, like building the world, like this world, creative world, and then implementing things like this where people can support them by, like, if they're really into it, they can buy an NFT and like help them fund their film, and in return, that's NFT is like some form of currency too at this point too. So.
Right. And that's just insane to me because you're funding in film, right? You're trying to sell. Let me give this example. Imagine if Star Wars was being made now, right? It's a brand new project, and with what we know, all these characters, all the Skywalkers, all the Siths and whatnot. Imagine being able to be part of that funding by buying like an image of like Luke Skywalker,
right,
and saying, "Oh, I own a Luke Skywalker," or right, "I own a Darth Vader," or "I own a Yoda." Like, you are part of that funding. You contributed to the process of the filmmaking, and in return, you own a piece of that.
And it's something
project.
That will over time, get more valuable and stuff like that too.
No, exactly, because like now transitioning to what's known as kind of the new web. There's like we're really transitioning into this new wave of what we know as the internet. Like before, obviously, like back in like when the internet was first coming up, what was it? It was like a server full of information that you can pull up and read stuff on, whatever. It's like a huge encyclopedia. And then it transitioned more into not only is like information, but then you can also voice your opinion. That's where like social media came into hand. Like now I can start posting my like opinions on stuff and uploading and sharing my personal stuff. Like, Instagram came along, Facebook, Snapchat, stuff like that. Now we're transitioning into, so that's Web 2.0. If you want to think of Web 1.0 as information, you're reading it off.
Okay. Yeah.
Web 2.0 is now you're adding your personal opinion so other people can read it. That's Web 0.0. Like 2.0, that's Instagram, all the social medias. Now we're transitioning into what people want to call Web 3.0, which is where NFTs come in. Something called like the blockchain comes in, which is basically now ownership of what you post. So if you want to think of it as like this linear kind of timeline, like I was just mentioning, you read an encyclopedia, then you also get to share. But now it's what I shared, I own.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, like it's like you're a personal asset.
So for example, let's say actually I found some really interesting articles about this, and let me actually bring one up because I really want to read this to you because I think you'd really like this. And this is coming from Coinbase, the people over at Coinbase, super cool website. What is a blockchain? And basically, so with NFTs and stuff, there's a new form or a new way to kind of see ownership, right? And that's what's called the blockchain. And let me read this. At most basic, a blockchain is kind of a list of transactions that anyone can view and verify. And so, like I said, now that you're able to kind of prove ownership and stuff. For example, like, let's say you post a reel on Instagram or you post a story, whatever. You own that. Yeah. Right? And it can be verified that you own something that you posted.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Like you have the rights to it, basically.
Exactly.
Whatever you post.
And it's decentralized. Like you own it. You don't have to go through another person to verify. It's there. Anyone can pick up and look through the blockchain like, oh, Curtis owns this thing, or I saw there's a transaction where Curtis bought this. He owns this. Right? So going back to like these film people, these people who want to fund their projects and stuff, let's say you bought one of the NFTs from these people. You own that character. It's your ownership. You own it. You have the properties to it. And it's just super interesting to think about how like the potential for not only film but like going forward with technology and
it's just like it's just a way to like start funding your own stuff like on your way, like
100%.
Like when it comes to film, like these guys are doing it and they don't need to go through a studio, you know what I mean? They're like building this world around their movie and they're just like getting super deep into like the creative aspect of like world building and like that you can start to monetize different assets and things from it and
that's what I'm saying,
put it out there, and people that like, like it, like what you're doing and support what you're doing and want to be a part of it can do that, and you out of it you get your movie made and they get something dope that they're excited about. So in return.
And I think the best part is like I was able to be part of that. I bought an NFT from these people to fund this film, and I will forever have that ownership. And then you can sell it if there's a market for it, or you can trade it with whoever. But it's like, yo, I have this picture, or I have whatever kind of intellectual property, and like it's mine, and I can prove that I made this film. I can prove that I contributed to. I'm part of the process in the community, and I can say that I was there for it.
Dude, I've always liked stuff like that. Like have Kickstarter? Like,
yeah.
I've always thought Kickstarter was such a dope platform because you can put your project out there. You can give people things in return for them funding whatever you're doing. And I don't know, it's just cool. Like you're building a community around what you're doing, and it's really I don't know. It's
and really I mean, cool. This goes into like it's another form of Kickstart.
Yeah, right? Literally, yeah.
It's just a new form of Kickstart that anyone can really do, and like kind of getting into NFTs and stuff. It's super complicated, but like it's really it's just a new way to kind of get the boat running, you know. It's a new way to kind of build an empire per se. We can get long into a conversation with NFTs that we can do further on, but I know Nate just gave us kind of a heads up to you know, for a quick intermission, so
let's let them know what we're gonna do at the break.
Yep.
Or right now we're gonna take a little break, and then while we're gone we're gonna watch some trailers, and then we're gonna come back. And I've seen some of them. I don't think Alex has seen all of them or any of them, maybe. But so we're gonna have like real reactions. And
so what trailers are we gonna watch? Real quick?
I know you might know the list better than me. Actually, it's Nope.
Yep.
Jordan Peele's new movie.
Yep.
It's a. Maybe you have to bring up the list, honestly.
So I'm thinking like we can watch like a Doctor Strange trailer. Nope. Maybe Project Adam with like Ryan Reynolds.
I think
that's going to be a good one.
That seems interesting, yeah.
And we'll do just a quick rapid
we'll
fire,
do like
see what we
4 or
think.
5 of them, and then like come back and give you our quick thoughts on them. So yeah.
Yep. We'll be back.
Cool.
All right, we're back. We just finished watching a couple of trailers. We're going to kind of do a little rapid fire segment where we think, just give our opinion on what we think, whether we'd watch it. So let's start with Doctor Strange. Sam Raimi, director of the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. What'd you think?
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty excited for it. Like, it looks like there's a lot going on, which is always like kind of like gets me nervous a little bit. But I think Marvel is like, they're pretty good at handling stuff like that. So.
Marvel's really good at handling stuff with their writers. I mean, for an exception of a couple films that weren't that good. But yeah, like you said, there's a lot going on. There's like this weird story behind Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, and how, you know, they're both trying to do the same thing, but it seems like Scarlet Witch,
each other's ways a little bit.
They get in each other's ways, and it seems like there's two different narratives where Doctor Strange is doing the right thing, but then Scarlet Witch is seen in the bad light, so she thinks it's not fair. You're gonna watch it?
Oh yeah.
It's a must watch.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, especially after the Spider-Man, I'm like kind of back on Marvel's. I wasn't off Marvel's side, but I was just bored for a little bit, and now I'm back. So
now they
got me back.
Yeah. Now you're back.
Yeah.
Okay, we also watched Jurassic Park Dominion trailer with Chris Pratt. Director of that, actually, Colin Trevorrow. He directed the past Jurassic Parks, first, second, the reboots at least. What'd you think of Dominion?
Dude, I am actually pretty stoked on that. Actually, from looking at the trailer, the cinematography and shots just look really sick in it. They looked really cool, and it looks
CGI?
Like and they're bringing back old characters.
Yeah, from the originals.
They're kind of going all out on this one a little bit.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan. So I liked the first reboot with the first the film. I didn't like the second one after that, the most recent one.
I'm on the same boat, yeah.
Wasn't a big fan. This one looks promising. Actually, we looked up the definition of dominion, and it means sovereignty or control, which is the theme behind this film. The dinosaurs are kind of coexisting, so it seems like they're trying to.
It's sick.
It's sick, and it looks like they're trying to take control back over of what once was theirs. Dominion. That's really cool. I really like the theme behind there.
I'm excited for that. That's kind of how I thought the last one was gonna be. It didn't end up like that, but it seems like this one looks sick. I'm excited for it.
So you're gonna watch?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely gonna watch that one too. Another really interesting one. We all love Ryan Reynolds. You like Ryan Reynolds?
I do. Yeah.
This one, The Adam Project. Director Sean Levy. He also directed Free Guy and then Night at the Museum, actually.
Which I'm a fan of both of those.
Yeah. I didn't see Free Guy. I think you mentioned it.
I liked it, and Night at the Museum is like super classic.
Classic.
I think that's such a classic.
So
movie.
The Adam Project. What do you think?
I'm excited, bro. Like,
interesting story.
Given like his lineup of movies, I didn't realize he had done Night at the Museum, but like that is like a childhood one for me. Like super, like he has just interesting ideas for movies.
Yeah,
it builds cool worlds. So
100%. And it like this Adam Project film, it kind of deals with like this time travel paradox where he he links up with his former self as a kid. He's now an adult, Ryan Reynolds. Him and his former self as a kid team up to stop the creation of time travel, which is a paradox in itself, because if you stop time travel, then it stops them from being able to time travel to even stop it in the first place.
Yeah, it's kind of got like
it really messes with you. So it's a cool concept. Looks a bit more futuristic. I wonder who time travels to where. The kid goes to the future, or maybe he goes back to the past. I don't know. So I guess we'll see what that looks like. But
yeah,
definitely would watch.
Definitely interesting.
And it's a Netflix original.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Which that is really cool. Definitely gonna watch.
I'd say I'd check it out too. So far it's pretty good. This last one we want to talk about, I think most popular and most anticipated would be
Nope by Jordan Peele. His new one coming out.
What a guy.
Yeah, dude.
What a guy.
He's been on a good run, dude.
Can we talk about his transition from what he used to do with Jordan Peele to what it is now?
Both of which are like such good projects on their own. Like the comedy, I love Jordan.
Dude, funny.
Love Keenan
funny.
Peele, yeah.
Remember Substitute Teacher?
Oh, absolutely,
dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Blew up, and then like you just got so many classic skits when it comes to Keenan Peele, but like. I would have never expected him to transition into like horror and thriller like he did. He kills it.
So before we talk about like the previous stuff he's done, what'd you think of Nope, the trailer at least?
Oh man, I'm like really stoked for this one for some reason because just Alien, like it seems like an Alien movie. It seems
like it, kinda.
At least to me it does. Like it really seems like it's gonna be an Alien thing, and the idea of like Jordan Peele doing something like that, I want to see what he does with it.
So with Jordan Peele in the last two movies, what were the last two movies?
So it was the first one was Get Out, and then after that he did Us.
So with those two, and now what it seems like with this one, he's very subliminal about the messages that he wants to send, right? He's very cryptic about what he sends, but he does it in a way that it's so intriguing. It's like psychological. It's a thriller, right? So it keeps you on your toes. What we just saw here, I don't know what it really deals with. You said it was like it started with like a ranch of horses. They train horses to be in films.
I think so, yeah.
It's what it seems like. To me, yeah. They're on a movie set. They're talking about the horses for Hollywood.
Because it seems like she's trying to pitch like
exactly
her horses are the best for the film or whatever.
And then it immediately cuts to straight, that's not what this is about. There's this huge like submerging cloud. We don't know what's in there, but it like gets closer. Everyone freaks out. And it starts sucking people up into the sky and messing with everything. So
he's always got cool aesthetics in his
movies does
too. He's always got very like specific things in his movie where you're like, that's gonna mean something no matter what. Like it's gonna have some kind of other
exactly.
meaning to
so
it.
I'm just at a loss of words because I don't know what to expect.
His trailers are always crazy to me. He's got some of the best trailers in my book.
100%. And who would have thought, like, we knew, like, obviously as being creators with Jordan Peele and stuff, we just knew he always had something in the works.
Oh yeah.
And it just, to see him transition into the director and writer role and to see him flourish,
he's absolutely killing it, bro. He's just got such attention to detail. Like
he does
real good attention to detail, like almost like kind of like Stanley Kubrick a little bit, like almost on that level, kind of like when I think of like such a classic, and I can't think of the film, but where he's isolated in the Shining. Yeah, kind of like that, like very like he just attention to detail is like through the roof. So and anything he puts out, kind of now I'm like I'm gonna see it, bro.
Dude, you know who Jordan Peele reminds me of actually, and it kind of ties into like just progressing and kind of perfecting your craft and like expanding to different genres of different things. I see Jordan Peele as like Donald Glover, Childish Gambino.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like start off as like skits and like stand-up comedy. He did stand-up comedy to now being known as this renowned like
very multi-talented
with his Childish Gambino stuff and his album, and that's what Jordan Peele reminds me of. Dude. Just like this jack of all trades, kind of a huge bag of his arsenal.
Just a little like drop. Childish Gambino was like easily the best concert I've ever been to in my entire
Really?
life. Yeah.
You went to it? Dude, I'm jealous.
It was really good.
How long ago?
It was before COVID, so it was like maybe, I don't know, 3 years
Where
ago,
was it?
3 or 4 years ago. It was at the Coyotes place where they
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coyotes.
Yeah,
Arizona.
Arizona. Childish Gambino. It was super sick concert, but that was just to go off on a little.
I want to ask you this because Childish Gambino is known for being very theatrical and like really playing a role. Like when you're at that concert, how was it? Like,
dude, it was a production, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a production. Like he puts on a show, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was Vince Staples opened up for him.
Did he? That's sick.
It was
Vince
a good
Staples.
concert,
Okay.
but yeah, he put up. So like you had the stage, and then you had like a circle, and he's like standing in the circle singing, and everyone's around him. It just felt like it's so sick. It was kind of like more old school. It felt like
More old school
performance. Like I don't know, like it wasn't just like the stage, and then you have the fans. It was like they were immersed like with his performance a little bit more. It was really.
So it was like a stage, and then it was like a ring around.
Yeah, and like everyone's kind of standing around him, and it was really cool. Yeah.
That kind of reminds me. Did you ever watch the Donda listening event with Kanye? You know what I'm talking about? It was like it was the mound, and then his old house.
Wasn't like huge, right?
Huge, and it was the same thing. It was like huge. It's like this main stage, and there's just the fat circle around with the audience, and it was just like immersive, like you said. Like it was just a kind of a 3D spiral like view rather than just a kind of a traditional stage.
I didn't watch it, but I've seen pictures of it, and it looked impressive.
Yeah, dude. So that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah.
But that's Childish Gambino, man.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Did you see that ties into Childish Gambino? I know a huge fan of Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
He's actually dropping an album this month, March.
Really?
Yeah, he released like a couple like teasers on his Instagram.
What have you thought of his newer stuff?
I know a lot of people are gonna hate me. I know Nate too, because he loves the album, but I don't know, dude. I'm just not a big fan of. I'm not a fan of The Big Day. Granted, he's talented, huge star, independent, for the people and stuff and whatnot. So his messages are still clear in his albums, but The Big Day, not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan at
all. I
all.
wasn't really either. I thought it was all right, but
it had some good hits at like Eternal. I think that's it. In my opinion. It was a cool album. Production was good.
Dude, I gotta give a quick shout out to the new Snot album really quick. Ethereal.
Okay.
I've listened to it start to finish probably over 20 times.
Really?
Straight
Snot.
up. Yeah,
I've
dude.
never listened to Snot.
It's really good.
What kind of genre is that?
So it's kind of like, dude, it's kind of experimental too. Like, I don't know how to describe it really, other than like, I think of it as like underground rap, like kind of like.
Okay. I think we touched.
Yeah, we talked about Night Level, which is another artist I really like.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Snot, he just dropped an album like really not that long ago. It was pretty recently, and dude, it came out of nowhere to me too. I didn't know about it. Okay. And I have literally listened to it front to back. Like,
when did it drop?
20 times probably. It probably dropped like a month or so ago.
And then it just listens through and
on repeat, like
really
constantly.
So what would you say is the best part of the album? Because I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what kind of vibe it is, or
I would say the last 4 songs, like really like. You like literally listening to it from start to finish is like the best way, because it just like each song like goes right into the next song, like
it all fits, it connects.
Yeah, dude, it's just he really did a good job on it. So
hey, shout out Snot. What's it called?
It's called Ethereal.
Shout out Snot. Go take a listen. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out now. I kind of want to just expand on.
Dude, let me make sure it's called Ethereal.
Okay. While he does that, one album that I was kind of on the same boat. Where you said you've listened to it like 20 times through, The Weeknd, Dawn FM.
Ethereal.
Okay, let's
Ethereal. I'm just gonna take this soundbite of me saying ethereal and replace
please,
it with every time I just said ethereal.
So say the word ethereal.
Ethereal. Okay.
There we go. Now he's gonna plug
put
it
that into every single time that I say Ethereum.
Not belittling Snot. Shout out Snot.
No, let's absolutely not.
Backtrack. Ethereal.
I love that dude. Ethereal. Yeah. Sorry, but you were saying.
So an album I've listened to 20 times through or more since it dropped. Dawn FM, The Weeknd. Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Have you listened to it?
Yeah.
So good, dude. And it's not like the old school vibe of like Trilogy and stuff that he's dropped before. More like the darker tone, melodic, kind of like down bad.
Yeah.
It's more of the 80s vibe, more like the pop, Michael Jackson vibe, very retro. And it sounds very similar to what he dropped before with After Hours. I don't know if you've listened to After Hours. It turns out he's in the making of a second trilogy with like these 80s kind of vibe. So it's After Hours and now Dawn FM. He's apparently going to drop a third album where it fits the same kind of status. Dude, dude, so good.
I love The Weeknd.
I love The Weeknd in general. I loved his old stuff, but I like his new stuff, what he's transitioning to. Another person who's kind of expanding their horizons and transitioning.
It's fun to see that.
Fun to see that, dude. I love to see, creators do that. But, dude, oh my God. Dawn FM. And the really cool thing about it is not just the music itself, but the concept of the kind of the story. It's very cinematic.
Oh yeah.
Kind of tying back to the film.
Yeah.
So he's got Jim Carrey.
What?
He's got Jim Carrey voicing who is kind of the radio host to a radio station out of in the middle of nowhere. It's called Dawn FM.
Okay.
Like 106 point something. You know, you turn on the
Yeah.
stations and you listen to 106.9, something like that. You know what I mean? So Jim Carrey is actually voicing the radio host to this Dawn FM 10 whatever.
Okay.
And throughout the whole album, if you listen to it, like you said, like start to finish, you know how it all connects, like you said with Snot.
Yeah.
Same idea. It's basically the concept, very cinematic. The concept of this album is you turn on the radio and you're listening to Jim Carrey narrate, oh, you know, sit back, and it's super cool voice, like sit back and turn on and don't you escape yet because the light at the end of the tunnel. Like super, it's like just you really feel what he's saying.
Yeah.
It really puts you in the mood of you're in the middle of nowhere. You have no music. You're driving by yourself. You turn on Dawn FM.
Yeah.
And it's just a constant radio station of the music that's been playing. And throughout the whole album, Jim Carrey's just like, all right, on for the next track and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's super sick. The music content's great. You know what I mean? But like just the cinematic story of it itself,
sick, dude.
super sick. So I was really stoked by that. I just love when music does that, when it has that cinematic value. And it's not just, here's 20 songs. And
that kind of reminds me of when they got Morgan Freeman for the 21 Savage.
Yes.
What was it? Savage Mode 2?
I saw that, with like Metro Boomin and stuff.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
That was also a good album. Very funny.
Oh yeah,
I love when artists incorporate other people like that.
Yeah, like when like different like mediums like film and music collab like actors, and like, you know, they're all artists.
They are in their own respective ways.
If they put their like minds together, they can make something doper than it would have been otherwise, you know. So.
And you always see like, and that's the cool thing about creatives, where you have musicians, you have artists, you have film creators, you have athletes and stuff. They all come together and kind of make this huge thing where it just
really sick.
pleases the
Everyone
fans.
Like is like using their platforms.
They use their platforms
and they're jumping on other people's platforms more, which is like,
and they really like boost themselves up and stuff.
It's
like
really cool.
I don't know if you see sometimes like Drake and Travis would bring out LeBron when he's in LA, and they're all just having fun and using that platform to kind of you know, put on a show for people.
Yeah, it's sick. I love seeing that. Just like it's good energy. It's good. It's cool.
Speaking of basketball, I don't know how long or how much you want to dive into it, but Jonah's team,
yes.
Jonah's team with.
Yes.
So I know we touched a bit on it last episode, but do you want to kind of give what it is, what we're usually talking about when we say Jonah's team or this basketball team?
So Jonah, he's a part of Film FRAT. So he's out in Bullhead working. He's working on his documentary right now, which is a documentary about his old high school team, which is Mohave Accelerated Learning Center. Yep.
And that's out in Bullhead?
Out in Bullhead,
okay, cool.
And this team that has been at the school, these kids have been together for a really long time playing basketball together. And they're just a good squad, bro. And I asked him before because I wasn't sure if he wanted me to like spoil it or anything, but I realized I was being an idiot, and I'm like, it's already online anyway.
Shout out Jonah.
Shout out Jonah. But they won the championship.
They did.
Bro, so they're champions. So
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I guess. Not really.
I mean, it's like I said, like I mentioned before, imagine like making a documentary on the Lakers when they won the 2020 ring, and like, oh, we don't want to spoil the end. It's like, dude, it's a live event. They won the championship. Like, you can't spoil a live event. Look it up. It's there.
So big shout out to them, bro. I was at the championship.
Oh yeah, you were there filming. You're helping
I was helping them film it, and it was out in Prescott, and it was at actually the Suns G League Stadium.
No way.
Yeah, it was at the Suns G League Stadium, and I was on the floor filming with him, and dude, they fucking won, bro.
That's sick.
They won. Undefeated on the season and won. So yeah.
You don't have to keep revealing. Obviously, we're going to see the documentary once it comes out. But it really follows the team. It follows the individuals, kind of the story arc of how they started from the beginning. Is it preseason or beginning of season?
Yeah, so it's preseason, kind of like around tryouts is when it starts. But
what month? Just to give a timeline.
Ooh.
It was 2021?
Yeah, it was 2021 when we started
like August?
filming. So, yeah, it was
because it's like high school, right?
It was around August, I want to say.
Okay.
August, September. Yeah, I think it was around August.
Okay.
And yeah, that was when we first did the first interviews, and it basically follows like this group of kids that have just been, you know, they got really good chemistry because they've known each other for a really long time. And they've just been playing together for a really long time. So they all get along really well. They all play together really well. The coaches have been with these kids for a really long time, and they just care about each other a lot. So
that's important, man.
Yeah, dude. So it's like, it's really cool.
Those are the ingredients to a good documentary.
Oh, yeah,
just
dude.
because that'll hook you. Emotional content like that.
Yeah, because it's more than just them winning basketball games. It's like their relationship with each other.
At the end of the day, regardless of if you're following like a, you know, film or music, whatever, it's not necessarily the content. It's more so the story behind the people, the characters, you know what I mean? That emotional core, that's what's going to hook you.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think, like I said, good ingredients to make a good documentary.
Yeah. He picked a good one, bro. Like to think like when he started that they're going to be champions in the end and undefeated on the season. Like, stars kind of aligned for sure.
There you go.
It's sick, dude.
I'm happy.
Big shout out to Jonah and the Malk team out there, champions, bro.
Dude, I'm sure they went crazy.
They did. It was fun.
But I mean, speaking of like Suns League and whatever, what do you think of the Phoenix Suns so far with these past 3 years?
To let everyone know, I mean, we're Arizona based, so we're kind of geeking out on Suns right now. I mean, you know, we almost made it last year,
dude. Went to the finals and then
so
choked
close
against the Bucks.
Giannis absolutely stomped us in the finals, but
hey,
credit to him, bro.
Yeah. The atmosphere here in Arizona when the Suns made the finals,
it was electric.
It was insane, bro.
It was fun,
That's
dude.
what they called Rally the Valley.
Yeah,
like, dude, it was just this army like stomping through, just
so
full support,
dude. Like, we hadn't had something like that to get excited about in a long time.
And then the Suns ended up. Now, although controversial, because a lot of people say, "Oh, if the Suns played healthy teams, they wouldn't have made it." Because granted,
come on,
the Suns did place the teams, and some of the players were hurt, but that's the game.
Every team is like that.
Every team is like that.
What, Chris Paul got hurt our first game in the.
He also got hurt against Clippers. Remember?
Yeah. So
he missed like I think first 2 games.
Like we didn't have to go through it.
That's what I'm saying. And it's not the Suns' fault that they kept their players healthy. Like you can't really, you know.
Sorry
for being healthy. You know, it's not. But dude, they made it through the Lakers, which they thought was impossible.
Yeah.
Then they swept the Nuggets, 4-0'd them. That was
a fun
that video of Booker just.
Yeah, dude.
Sweeping the floor after that last game. Insane.
We had like the perfect memes for like every single part of like
the dude who got into a fight with the Nuggets player. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, Suns are 4, baby.
And then got swept. And then ran through the Clippers.
Dude took a picture with Jamal Murray.
He did. And he also got a signed thing by Booker in a jersey. Suns in 4. And Booker wore a shirt of him. Remember that? The Suns in 4.
Buddies that went to the game got a picture with him.
That's insane.
So funny, bro. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But then like I said, went through the Clippers without a Kawhi, but still like they were a good team still. Great chemistry. Good ball.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And Paul George, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I just don't think Paul George is that guy.
I don't think he's that guy
I just
either.
had to say it.
A lot of people say he's the most unclutch player in the playoffs, which to each their own. I'm not going to hate. He's still a baller. Still a baller. But,
definitely a baller, yeah.
But the whole Patrick Beverley pushing Chris Paul, insane. God, dude, what a menace. He's just a barking chihuahua.
Yeah, dude.
But then the Bucks, bro. Suns were up 2-0. For people who don't really follow basketball or didn't just really keep up with the NBA last season. In the finals, and Suns had home advantage. So that means what, the first game and the second game, they played in Phoenix.
Yep.
The Suns went up 2-0. Yeah. Everyone's like, it's over. It's like historically, it's very difficult to beat those odds if you're up 2-0.
Most definitely.
And then Bucks won 4 in a row. And it just crushed the spirits.
To us.
Crushed the spirits.
It was rough, dude. But I remember after it ended, just the feeling of like, man, we really made it to the finals, bro. We really fucking made it to the finals.
And it's crazy. The addition with Chris Paul, sure, he's washed up. He's a veteran. He's not going to be that skillful. It's not about that. It's more about the mentality and the leadership, what he's going to add. He's already built up players like Cam Johnson, which shout out 38 points last game without Paul or Booker. 38 points, game winner.
Dude.
Insane.
Oh my gosh, dude. Great game.
Great
game, Cam.
And
great game, Cam.
But yeah, he built up players like Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, huge player for Book as well. Dude, he's just
all these pieces that we already had and made them like, he was the key, bro. He was the key that we needed.
And I guarantee you that even after he retires or season ends and stuff, doesn't want to play, he's still going to be involved in the organization somehow.
I think he loves it here.
He loves the Valley.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's a great fit for him.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see that it showed up at the end of his career.
Yeah. But if he gets the ring, he gets the ring. I hope we can get it for him.
It would just be a great story.
Yeah, it would be great.
Great
bro.
story.
I really want to get him that ring.
Great story.
Yeah, it would be so sick.
And
but yeah, well, hey, they haven't lost a step either. Let's give them credit for like what they're doing this season too. They're 50 wins already. So
50 wins, and they're at the top, right?
Step.
They're right above Golden State as of right now.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're in first.
Couple games. Yeah.
Couple games.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what the season looks like. Lakers are a mess. Portland's looking crazy.
The storylines
are insane, bro. The West is crazy. The East is very competitive as well. Bulls, Heat, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, shout out the Suns though.
Shout out the Suns. Shout out Phoenix, Arizona, man. And shout out Arizona as a total.
Yeah, dude.
Just
dope over here. It's building up.
And it's building quick.
Yeah,
so you either hop on the train or you step aside.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But hey, appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate all the viewers out there and all the listeners for supporting. We're just gonna keep growing, keep doing what we do, keep talking about what we want to talk.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a journey. Film Frat and Film Frat forever. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Wave the flag till we die.
Yes, sir.
And have fun with it like always. We appreciate the support. We're gonna keep coming out and keep showing the love. As long as you do, we'll be here.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? If there are people who want to listen, then there's people who want to talk.
There's people that want to listen, and we like doing this stuff. So
there you go. So
yeah.
Until then, catch y'all later.
Peace out.